HHDG. Peace, everyone, and welcome to HHDG Media, the podcast. Shout out to everyone, as always, that tunes in through our YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook group, HHDG. Before we get into tonight's guest, as always, we got to give a big shout out to our company, HHDG Media Inc., which consists of our 5 owners, Skelly Top, Rock Faded KB, The Mayor, Wiki, and also T. Smith. As you can see on our bottom banner, you can go to our website, hhdgmedia.com, where you can go check out the latest music that's out, as well as written interviews, our merch, and upcoming events. For tonight, we have more than one guest, and one of them is a returning guest who I always enjoy having a conversation with him. Have our similarities. You know, he educates me on the education system, which I definitely appreciate, as I have 2 children, and having that firsthand knowledge being spoken is always a welcome insight. He also happens to be an ill MC. So if you haven't in the past, definitely go check out our previous interviews. And for tonight, we are going to talk about his latest 2024 album, Loose Threads, produced entirely by Beatnick Classics, which hopefully he'll be able to join us tonight. And we also have another guest coming through who's currently residing in Brazil, who was a guest feature on 2 tracks on the new album, Loose Threads. One of the tracks is COVID, which is 2 wild stories in itself. And, you know, I had to ask him before. I was like, does this really happen? He was like, yeah, it happened. And the other track, another dope track, Tom Eat. And the 2 of them, you know, went off on this, with Beatnick Classic having a production that I like, has psychedelic rock feel to it. And he has one thing that's a key component is the way he lays down the drums on his tracks, which I really enjoy. So we definitely going to talk about this album, Loose Threads, that dropped on September 29th, and as well as what else they have, you know, currently going on, and the creation of the new album. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce, returning once again, peace, Calcei.
What up, though?
How you doing?
Chilling, man. I'm glad we can make it.
Yes, indeed.
Some little technical difficulties last week, but
yep,
we're here. We're here. What's up?
Good. And also coming from South America, in Brazil.
Yo, what up? Live and direct.
There you go. How you doing?
Living the dream.
Good to hear. Keep it positive, right?
Always.
Very good. Before we even get into Loose Threads, you worked with Beatnick Classics in the past before, so, you know, let the people know exactly, you know, what made you want to do an entire album with them this time.
Yeah, so I've been making a series of one producer albums. It started with Pimpernel Jones and myself did Groundworks, and I just wanted to work with people that I've that I've worked with over the years, that have shown love, and that I appreciate their craft and that deserve, I don't know, I guess, shine for a whole project, because after the Groundworks with Pimpernel Jones, I did Occam's Razor with Okang, and then Beatnick, we worked on Denny's together, and we worked he did some tracks on the Bowling League, American Splendor, and of course I hit him up. I had to do the whole thing with him because he's got mad beats, and like you said, I like psychedelic stuff. I like psychedelic samples and kind of weird off kilter stuff. That's what I was looking for this project, and I knew he had that kind of heat in his catalog. So I also like weird vocal samples out of that that are kind of obscure, and he had all that. So it really fit well for this project. I think when I went through and picked those, he was like, "Dang, nobody picks those beats.
Really?
Those shits are hard to rap on. Like nobody even knows what to do with those." But I was like, "No, those are the ones that hit me." So, yeah, and he has a real organic sound. Some people think that he plays live instruments. He doesn't, but it sounds really. It's his beats sound very rich, and the drums sound like real percussion. Like somebody's actually playing them. His drums hit hard. And he's got a really good. I think he has a really good ear for samples uh, and finding things that are obscure. What we got to do is get him back in the lab making some beats because he hasn't made any in a while. So we got to
Just blow him up enough. We just got to blow him up enough. Just stay on top of him on Messenger.
Yeah, he's got to get back in there. Although he has like hundreds and thousands of beats though, but
I can only imagine.
I want to get him back in there and producing again. But yeah, that's why it's just I've been working with people that I appreciate and that have shown me love, and I'm moving on to the next one after this with Mount Placebo. Greg Green and I are doing a joint album, so
Nice.
that's next. All produced by Mount Placebo. So that's in the works. It's being recorded. It's partly recorded, so that's the next producer.
All right, cool. Now I got to say, there was a project that Beatnick Classics did maybe I think about 4 years ago. Physiological folk. Physiological folk, and I listened to that maybe about a year ago, and then listening to Loose Threads, I'm like, and then you just saying that he doesn't use any live instruments, and I went back and listened to it again, and I'm still bugging out, the fact that nothing live is on there.
Yeah, I know. He knows how to get that organic feel out of the machines he uses. I think that's a special thing that not all producers can do to make it feel organic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I learned so much reading about Dilla is how he made the SP into an instrument.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a machine, it was an instrument. And that's kind of how I feel Beatnick is. He like his machines are an instrument. It doesn't sound mechanical. It sounds live and organic.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a shame too with a lot of these producers because there are a lot of copy and paste loopers, and it sounds like you said too mechanical, too machine like. There's no real human element or human touch to any of it at all.
Yeah, and I think with producers, I think you can tell the ones who dig and who understand music and appreciate music and have that they have a wide range of musical tastes. That's the best musicians are ones who are not stuck in a genre, and you can tell. Mm-hmm. You can tell Beatnick's hands are in everything, and he's listening to everything. And I think that's even if you started with as a hip hop head, I don't think if you're a hip hop head and you didn't move into jazz or psych rock or things like that, just by listening to samples, that's a shame because that's one of the beautiful things I've always said about hip hop is it taught me so much more than just about hip hop. I learned so much about music from hip hop, and I'm still learning.
Very true. Yeah.
And that's why those are the best producers right there that make you go, where'd they get this from? Where'd they get that sound from? Where'd they get that sample from? Where'd they get those drums from? Mm-hmm. And you start learning and going down rabbit holes. So
That's
that's what he does. Me.
And I'm glad you brought that up because I think there's no age group for who doesn't do that, but it still boggles the mind for me when you hear something like that and you don't want to find out where it came from. And then if you do go out and hear where it came from, now you want to hear more from whatever artist, group, musician, whatever it may be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Steely Dan is one of those groups that's been sampled, and you're like, damn, I grew up listening to that kind of stuff on the radio, and then hearing it in a hip hop sample, you got to go back and listen to some of these albums, and it's a treat.
No doubt.
Yep.
That's the art that has to stay alive. I mean, I think it always will.
Yeah.
But I just think that you just don't want to see that ever die. And that's the beautiful thing. That's the beautiful thing about the process and the creative process of making beats and digging and learning and broadening and having a good ear.
Yeah.
Broadening your musical horizons. That to me has always been what's so great about hip hop production.
Yeah, definitely. You learn so much, so many different genres, so many different artists, and if you don't, you're not listening to the right stuff.
Yeah,
very true. Yeah, it's got to boggle the mind because I know at some point, no matter what music you're listening to, if somebody samples something, you might have heard that in your childhood. Mm-hmm. At some point, you got to be like, I know what this is.
Yeah.
Got to find that. You got to scratch that itch. You got to scratch that itch.
Honestly, I like it more when I say I don't know what this is. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
How the fuck did you find this? Like, how did you even know? Like, and like I said, that's Beatnick. I'm like, where did he find this sample? Where the hell? I don't know what this is. And he puts like the way he manipulates sounds on some of, like, he uses some wild sound, like just kind of discordant sounds, but then he puts them together, and they come out dope. So I like that too. Like I really, over the last few years, especially, Edon. I always talk about Edon because he's like my favorite.
Oh yeah, that's always off the wall stuff.
Yeah, just hip hop persona, hip hop. He's just so diverse with what he does, and he a lot of what his production is based. The whole Beauty and the Beat was based on psych samples. So
oh yeah,
I think he was one of the first to really delve into that. And then I guess you could even LP with the discordant kind of noise that he used in his production.
Yeah, just dark and dirty, kind of gloomy, dystopian.
I think those two have kind of changed. I don't know if they changed the game per se, but they changed the sound in hip hop in a way that other people have emulated since then.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I look at a lot of art kind of like origami in a way, and because there's only so many ways you can fold a paper, so trying to make something new really makes the artist stand out so much because everybody can make the swan, everyone the whole thing, but trying to fold that paper in a way that hasn't been manipulated before, that really makes all across all the genres makes a good artist.
Very true. Yeah. Now, Rick, you are the lone feature on the new album.
Yeah, he couldn't pay anybody enough, but
word.
He hit me up and I was hanging out under a palm tree drinking a coconut, and I had a little time off, so I wrote a couple bars. The first one I did was the COVID test track.
Oh man.
And yeah, all that stuff, true story. Got stuck out in New York on Christmas and New Year's Eve because of the CVS messed up my test. And he was like, yo, I got this crazy story about, COVID.
Wait, hold up. Didn't I you wrote a different verse though, right? And then
I did. I had a completely different verse.
And you're like, damn, I got a story too. So it fit perfect. It ended up perfectly. So yeah, That changed. After he read my verse, he changed his verse because of what happened to him.
Yeah, it was crazy. I tried to fit it into a 16, but there was just too much that went on. So I had to rap 32 bars just to get my whole point across, and I didn't leave anything out. I think I got everything into like just the last two lines. Everything just fit, but it took 32 bars to tell the whole story.
Yeah, those are crazy times. But and I'll talk about that in a minute. But what I remember, so we Rick and I have been talking on Facebook for at least 10 years,
Yeah.
off and on. And he's I'm and it's like sometimes we don't talk about it, then it's like, oh, here we talk again, and we've been talking about music for the longest. Finally, I got him. I'm like, yeah. I sent him the whole folder of the beats. I said, pick out what you want. And I remember he was like, damn, some of these are crazy
difficult. Yeah.
So he was like, okay. I'm like, he was like, what are you gonna do with these? So he picked out the ones that he liked.
Just the easiest ones I think I picked out, personally. You really went out there, to make everything fit.
Mhm.
But I can do two. I got two for you.
Yeah, but that COVID. So that true. I went to Hawaii. I went right after everything got cleared and everything reopened. We went on a vacation, my family, and my kid literally my wife got sick, was laid out on the floor in the bathroom, and my kid had to go to take a piss, and she's laid out like sick, and I'm like, just go out in the hall. There's got to be a bathroom right out there. So we opened the door, and I was waiting for my test to clear. So they're like, you have to stay in the room. And I was like, well, they won't care. I'm just taking them out right in the hall. So I went up the hall. I literally went, looked in the hall, came back in the room. My wife passed out. She finally felt better. We all passed out. We're tired as fuck. And then she comes. Then like the knocking on the door. It literally was the Hawaii 5-0, and they arrested my ass, put me in jail, and I stayed the night because we couldn't get the bail. Because nothing was open on the island. And then and then I had to go to court and I had to get the whole thing, and it got thrown out, thankfully, because that would have been a misdemeanor on my record.
Oh, I was going to say, is that going to affect Mr. Fox's teaching record?
Well, exactly. That's why I had to go to court. And it got thrown out for lack of evidence and it was such bullshit, man. I'm like, I was like, are you serious? You arrested me because I took my kid out in the hall. I had my mask on. I had all this. Like, what? Oh, shit. That was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I got out, but I was on the news. We called news stations and all that shit. I was on the Hawaii local news.
We got to find a clip of that, by the way.
Yeah.
And the people were going in on me on the comments. They're like, why the fuck did you come here? So
shit, that's what the ice bucket is for, man.
That's crazy. But yeah, so I probably wouldn't have written a song if I had not got that thrown out. I definitely would have written a song about it because I don't want any that ever being picked up by by my employers. You know what I mean? But it's
probably would have been a little bit less lighthearted.
Right. Yeah, it would have been. That would have been terrible.
Now,
I got my bail money back. I got all that. So yeah, I'm sure it was a lot worse it's a lot worse for a lot of other people. But like I said, the draft. So that's like my up north trip.
Now, what I like about this is y'all gave it a nice turn. Y'all made it humorous. Beatnick Classics production is in a more almost like a playful vibe, and it reminded me of a J-Zone track.
Oh yeah, one of my favorites, J-Zone.
Oh, J-Zone, yeah. You cut out for a minute. Oh yeah, J-Zone, yeah. He's I love that guy. I used to talk to him a lot on Facebook too. And if you want to read a good book, read what is it?
I've been meaning to read that too, man. It's good.
This summer, I found one used copy. That shit is crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, he has a lot to say. But yeah, I kind of relate. I feel like I kind of relate because he just got out of the whole game. But
Yeah, I'm a little ashamed. A little. It's a shame that he's so disenfranchised now with like the whole hip hop world. He's
yeah,
doing like break beats and
Yeah,
like jazz stuff now.
and his
But
band and everything. Yep.
yeah, he
yeah, but
plays with a
the do
band.
rights.
Do right. Yep.
Fights and he plays with another band. He's always posted and he does this stuff with like what is his name? Supreme. What is that?
Yeah, I think it's the Supremes.
No. It's oh God, what's his name? Not DJ Supreme. Anyway, he does like these live recreations of beats with Supreme something. But he does it. Those are dope. He plays the drums. The other guy plays the keys. But yeah, I mean, he does. Yeah, he's making a living off that though, which is dope. He switched up everything.
Yep.
Yeah, he had very his raps were very humorous. It was like a stand-up comedian on the mic.
But I will say this: his drum breaks are still used in hip hop.
Oh
So,
yeah. He does records and
Yep.
he sells them. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's a real reachable dude too. So it's he's pretty down to earth, man.
He is, and he'll talk to you. Like I haven't talked to him in years on there, but I used to hit him up about stuff. He's very, he'll talk to you. He'll spend time talking, and even like if I throw him a track, he'll listen to it and be like, "Oh, he'll give me feedback."
Yeah,
But I haven't hit him up in years. But yeah, I like him.
You're thinking of Soul Supreme, by the way.
Soul Supreme.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, he's been doing collabs with him, but they do a live recreation of like a classic hip hop beat. I love those are dope. I really like when he does that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely more intimate stuff that he does. It's more for the hip hop fan in general. Not just for anybody else, but himself too. Really, and that's the kind of stuff I dig when you're not really trying to make music for other people too much to where it becomes something that it really isn't anymore.
I think he could give a fuck less about hip hop fans.
Well, I think it shows.
I think he has great disdain for hip hop fans in general. But anyway, let's get back to the album.
Yes, let's talk about the cover and the cassette.
Oh yeah, I got that right.
Good Darts. There you go.
Yeah,
my copy should be coming in soon.
Oh yeah, that's fresh.
Neon green. I'm gonna be sending that out soon to you all. I just got to get the CD still. And then we got the playing card.
Oh yeah.
And we got the track list on the back. Yeah, and then that's what the inside looks like. Track lists. That's the cover. Whoops. There we go. So yeah. That's the second cassette I've had on Good Darts. The first one was the Occam's Razor. Okay. And Slipper Savaskis did the cover. And he did the whole thing. He did everything. He did the whole cassette, the card, and he does art for Garbage Pail Kids for Tops.
Yeah, that still bugs me out when I see that in the credits.
So he that's like that's what he does that's like pretty much what he does for a living. He does his art, and he's done record covers for Chop Heron. He puts out he puts out a Rapper's Delight series. Their cards from different artists.
Yep.
And they're different themes. Like this year was video game was the themes. Like
amazing.
Yeah. So he and other artists put that out. Man, that dude is dedicated to just the whole culture.
Yeah, for sure. I heard him getting a shout out on Sirius Radio the other week.
On some show, yeah.
I think it was Shade 4-5 or it was on Shade 4-5.
Yeah, it was. And then because he had that Rapper's Delight with Tame One was like a 4-track vinyl he put out. And Tame One was one that might have been one of the last tracks he made. RIP to him. But
rest in peace, Tame One. Rest in peace, Sean P. It was
Yeah,
just Doomsday. Rest in peace, MF Doom.
yeah.
Get a
Well,
couple of those out of the way.
no doubt. Those are heroes right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
But I guess we should talk about the cover and what Loose Threads is based on and why I ended up working. So there's this movie Threads. It's a BBC movie from 1984 about a nuclear holocaust. And I really wasn't hip on the movie till, I don't know, a few years ago. I didn't even know about it. But one thing that caught my eye was the cover. One of the promos for the movie showed a like a cop, and it was a traffic cop, and he had bandages around his face, because of the fallout damage from the radiation.
Mhm.
And I was like, damn, that'd make a dope cover. So at first, I was like my kid, he's a graphic designer. I'm like, can you work on that? And he was just going to use the cover basically, but I was like, you know what? Slip is British, and I'm sure he can relate to this better because he's, he that movie's like a seminal moment for people who came up then. Like it's traumatic. Yep, there we go. That's that's one of the promos. So he wasn't old enough when it came out, but it's everybody knows about it, and
Mhm.
it's actually the 40th anniversary of the movie this year. So I said, okay, well, what do you think you could do with that? And he came up with the more like I don't know, it's kind of an anime version, I guess. It's kind of what it looks like to me. But and I instead of just calling it Threads, it's Loose Threads because it's loosely based on some of the themes, I guess.
Loosely based on Threads. All
Yeah,
right.
right. So it has, and I think there's a few a little apocalyptic verses in there, some doomsday type stuff on a few of those songs. Like, I mean, a stone is one I kind of think about that. It's like this dude on a quest, and he thinks he's gonna get everything he ever wanted, and only to become the object that he wanted, which is a stone. And even on Peep, it's like about just look around you, listen to what's going on, and feel the vibes in the street, and what are people talking about, and um, the you got to be aware of what people are saying and how it's and how it's affecting our politics and our day-to-day lives, and you can't just you got to be aware of yourself and self-aware and your surroundings.
Very true. Yep.
But yeah, so he came up with that, and then I asked him if he could do a card with it, and he was like, "Yep." I'm like, "Dope," and I think it came out really good, and I like how it looks. And I don't have the CDs yet. I still got to get the CDs from DICD,
CCD.
and he's been dope. He's put out my last three albums. One, two, yeah, the last three have been on there on CD. And then I still have one that's available at Chopped Herring with the Bowling League CD. But yeah, he's a good dude. Slip is a good dude. It's good to work. It's good to work with. He's busy, and he took he took out the time to really get my project together and our project together in pretty quickly. Considering he's busy, so I appreciate that, and he's a really talented dude. He also makes beats too, and he DJs, so he's kind of all around in the culture, big time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love the work that he's been doing.
Yeah, that's crazy. Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, you make garbage like people? That's still a thing, and it is, especially like all those throwback '80s folks.
Yeah, it's a good time to bring it back.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Now, Rick, tell us about your other talents aside from MCing.
Well, I'm a graffiti artist. I like doing a little bit of graphic design on the side. Just writing in general. Short stories, and I like I like doing video game design too. So just nothing too serious or anything like that. Really just trying to find myself after leaving the States and coming out here and learning how to samba on my list. So just be able to have a little bit more fun.
And you do art out there, right? Graffiti.
I'm trying to break into the scene. There's a lot of competition, but I see a lot of stuff that I know I could definitely do better for. Just like storefronts and stuff. There's a lot of that, people doing logos, and the graffiti scene out here is wild. I've seen nothing like it. Even in the States, you go out to New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, and Brazilian graffiti is just everywhere. You can't go to any city, any town without seeing something on every block.
Wow.
They hang from the skyscrapers on ropes and do the whole building. And it's called
they do out there too. Wow.
Yeah, no, they like invented the stuff. I'm telling you, like
really.
Yeah, they took the classic stuff from New York City, and they didn't just run with it. They're hanging with it. They're out there with rollers and anything you can leave a mark with. They're going crazy out here. So shout outs to the Brazilian graffiti writers. All the pichadores, They got two styles. They got like the traditional graffiti, and they got the Pixo, Pixo, and it's more. It looks kind of alien, like the letters. Think of like the old Iron Maiden record labels with like kind of like the block and like triangular letters. So they do a lot of stuff like that. They have their own style for sure.
Damn. It seems like a lot of countries like Japan, the way they run with hip hop and made it their own, like the dancers out there and stuff. It's like crazy.
Yeah, the b-boys from Japan are out of this world.
Wow. It's amazing.
Yep.
It's like it's good. It's just good that that culture is still alive and thriving. And also shout out to the UK, man. They hold me down big time because Good Darts is out of the UK. Chopped Herring's out of the UK, and then Pimpernel Jones is the guy who mixes and masters and all my stuff, and I worked with him for years now, so he's in the UK, so I need to get over there again.
Oh, you've been out there already?
Yeah, we went a few years ago, but I didn't spend that much. It was like a week. It was a kind of a whirlwind. But, and then like my dude Greg Green too, he's in the he's in Denmark, so it's like everybody I'm working with. Except
your extended family is all in Europe,
right? And then this guy in South America. But Rick's from Gary, Indiana, though, so he's Midwest. We're both Midwestern boys.
219, born on the lake. Gotta love the Midwest. Some of the best food. It's a lot of great influences. Shout out to Michael Jackson, Freddie Gibbs.
Right.
All Gary near residents.
Yeah, that's right. And Freddie Gibbs just dropped too.
Oh no way! I got to peep that. He was out here last year, and just like 30 minutes away, like his first time in Brazil, and I was so mad. I was Instagram like a couple months later. I was like, damn, he was out in Brazil, and I didn't even come out. I would have been like the only two Gary cats in the whole damn country.
Oh man!
Probably could have got free tickets. I'm salty about that.
I'm from Gary. Oh, come on.
219, bro. What's up?
Come on. Right.
Now I've been to a couple of his shows out in Chicago, and they go wild out there, man. Some of the wildest shows ever. Yeah, he throws a good show. He's got good energy.
Word. So,
Rick, I got how long have you been down in Brazil?
4 years now. In 2 months, or actually 2 months and like 2 days, because I got here on January 1st in 2020. I was supposed to be a week earlier, but all that mess happened. So
COVID shit happened. That's how.
Yeah.
That's the origin story of Rick Wreck in Brazil.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, Sao Paulo, a beautiful city. It's huge. It's like nothing I've ever seen. It's the fourth biggest city in the world, and it just goes on and on and on. You can get in a car, and it takes like 3-4 hours just to drive from the north side all the way down to the south to where the beach is at.
Wow.
And it's incredibly big, incredibly big.
Dang. Yeah, so this makes me think that you gotta, if we gotta work on a project, and you need to do some art for the cover.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
I got you. I just built a new PC too, so I'm gonna start getting back to work and creating again.
So
nice. So he's just say he built the PC, so you versed in that too, because I've done that in the past as well. So.
Oh yeah, no, it was one of my passions for a while, but when I moved out here, it just took me a while to get started again.
Mm-hmm.
I brought a bunch of parts with me, and I just couldn't get everything together, so I just finally scrapped it. I was trying to find motherboards from years ago, and then some of these old motherboards, they're just so rare now that they cost just as much as a more up-to-date one.
Yep. So
I just finally had to just put aside my pride. I was like, I'm gonna fix this one, and I just had to just say chuck it. In the words of Eazy-E, throw it in the gutter and go buy another. And that's exactly what I did, and now I got a nice setup again.
I've definitely not built any computers, but I do art. I do. Well, I used to do a lot of art, but that's my kid now. He's the artist.
Yeah, there you go. Ain't that the whole reason I have kids? You just make them do the stuff. They take off the workload.
Except when they take like a year to do anything.
Oh yeah.
That's the problem. That's the issue we have with the artists. Some artists are like that though. I don't happen to be that kind of artist though. I kind of produce. I can put a lot out of in a short period of time when it comes to writing and rhyming.
You know what? That's something that actually kind of impresses me about you is that you just get it done. I remember I was talking to you when you were going to the studio, and I was like, "Damn, you're gonna record the whole album in one day?"
Yeah.
And you were like, "Yeah, you just went in there. How many hours did that take?"
2 hours.
Really? That's pretty impressive. You just went in there and banged it out.
Yeah, that's kind of how I do it. I do like 10. I plan out my 10 tracks. I put the beats in order. I practice, and then I'm ready. When I'm in the studio, I just go. I don't even get off the mic. I don't even get up. Take my headphones off. I'll be like, next.
Just go straight through.
All right, next. I'll be like, let's double. Okay, let me do some dubs. All right, let me do some ad libs. Next. Yeah, that's just kind of how I've had to do because having a job and kids, I don't have time to waste, and that's one thing that engineers always say to me. They're like,
"Shut up,
because I get people in here for 3 hours, they do barely get one track done, and they
like 2 tracks,
weed the whole time." I'm like, nah, I got to be efficient.
Yep,
got to be efficient. So that's a challenge. It's sort of it's a challenge to me too. Like I like to challenge myself and say I have this much time to get this project done, and I have this much time to record, and I'm going to make myself do this because that I don't. It's I guess it keeps your mind healthy. You know what I'm saying? It keeps you focused, and I think you always have to have projects that you're working on and things that you are trying to obtain to not only keep creative juices going, but just to keep your mind focused on something. I think that's
right.
It's good for you. It's good for me at least, just to have those goals and to reach for those goals, and keep me moving on other things because life can get rather mundane.
Yeah. Well,
right?
You know what they say about idle hands,
Right. Yep. So I'm never idle because I work. I'm a teacher. I'm never idle, bro. I got kids, wife. But as far as the creative stuff, I'm like you need that part of your life too. It can't just be work and bills and working on the yard. You got to have.
You gotta break that monotony. Yeah,
It's
it'll get to
important.
you.
Art is important, and it's good to have it. And doesn't matter how old you are, you got to keep making art. Art is important, and collaboration is important. The more work I do, the more people I work with, the more. Even if I want to stop, somebody's popping up in my inbox saying, "Yo, we need to work on this." So, all right. And sometimes I just want to be like, "I'm done. I'm done. I want to make another album. I can't do this anymore." But then somebody be like, "Yo, we got to finish this." Oh, somebody pops up and says, "Oh, I got these beats. Let me check out these beats." Or Rick comes up and says, "We got to work on a project."
Yeah, let's do it.
So it's good for me. It definitely is, and I'm coming up. I'm almost 50 now, but I'm keeping it going. I'm not stopping.
Got you. And then again, once again, like you mentioned, you got a core team who has a great work ethic, and Pimpinel Jones is always doing this thing, whether it be the engineering or the cuts and the scratches,
or he DJs, or he's always. I mean that he's a musician. You know what I'm saying, and that's that, and he's constantly. That motivates me to be around people that are trying to uplift their craft. They're not stuck in one place. Like he's constantly doing new things and
they kind of push it.
Yeah, upgrading his equipment, upgrading his studio. I mean, that's motivating. And like Greg sings, and Greg works with live musicians, and Greg goes to different places in Europe and plays. And like Greg's very inspiring, and he's he's a really talented guy, and he's worked with so many different people. And and these are all people, these are people I've met in the last few years, and let alone the people I've worked with over the last 15, 16 years. So, so I keep they help me grow as an artist and give me inspiration. Same thing with Rick,
Yeah, anything to just kind of to break up the monotony, kind of get yourself out of your comfort zone, and especially when you work with different people, you think of things that you probably wouldn't have thought of, like when it goes back to that COVID test song. Like I would have never wrote that song. I would have never came up with the idea to tell that story. If it hadn't have been. Just let's I got a couple spots in this album, let's do something. And that track was born just out of that collaboration. So you put yourself with talented people, and you never know what's going to come out of it.
Right. That's the good thing about collaborating, is it helps you grow your own mindset and get inspired to do different things. And I don't even know how the fuck I thought of that track. I just like I'm writing this. Speaking of broadening, like trying new things, I actually tried singing on it. I was singing on one track on this album, "Smile at Me," which I hadn't done before. So
yeah, it was good. I actually enjoyed that. I remember you talking to me about it, and you're like, "Oh man, I don't know if this takes good." I was like, "Just do it, man. Just do it. Don't fuck with it too much, because you're gonna try to do it too many different ways and too many different times, and you're gonna lose the magic."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the worst when that happens, because I've tried to do that with a couple of my other tracks. Just sending them to my friends, and they're like, "Dude, what did you do to this song? You fucked it up." And a lot of the times they like the gritty raw shit that I just rapped into the phone, recorded it on the phone, and then I get out a nice mic, and then I try to mix it and stuff on the computer. And like, dog, you ruined it. They a couple of times they're like, "You ricked it up, man. You ricked that song up. You shouldn't have done that."
You ricked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that I'm kind of getting into more singing too. So at some point I'm putting out an EP or something where I'm gonna be singing on it. That's my next. After I get these next couple projects, I want to start working on that.
it's a good therapy just to get out of your comfort zone, anyways, and try something new. So
Yeah, it is.
you know,
And then keep challenging yourself as well. See what creativity comes from it.
Yeah, for sure, no doubt. But yeah, that track. That's the beat for "Smile at Me." I know. Nick Beatnick? He was like, I don't know. I don't think you could have done anything else. You could have done anything else with that.
Yeah, that was probably one of the most difficult ones off of that whole selection.
Yeah, that was that's kind of what I had in mind a little. I was like, this is something I could kind of sing on and be more melodic. So, and I did.
You made it work.
Yep.
No doubt. Thank you. And then we did our Tommy Tom. I don't even know what that. Do you know what that sample is? Do you know that group? Do you know who that vocal?
I looked it up actually, and I can't remember what the name of it was, but he he did some wonders with that one too. I'll have to link it to you later because I had it saved on my other computer on my laptop, and I was looking at the whole song.
Yeah, I like the breakdown with the drums he put on there too.
Oh yeah.
And so I don't know if you peeped. My whole verse was about Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
It was how Tom Cruise references to Tom Cruise movies, and it didn't start like that. But I just kept. I started with War of the Worlds, and I'm like, not the one with Tom, with not Bradbury, with Tom, and then I'm like, okay, let me look
They
up.
just kept running with the Tom theme.
Tom Cruise shit. So
Vanilla Skies.
yeah, and that's why I called it Tommy Tom because the dog eat dog sample in there. So I don't know.
Yeah, just off the wall.
Weird how shit happens sometimes. And then I told you on that one, just rap about some crazy shit, right?
Yeah, it just ended up being about Rafi getting prank called by Louis C.K. and Pootie Tang.
Yeah, well, he wrote it, so I got it. But yeah, that's kind of that. Sometimes I like to do very nonsensical shit and just play with words. Sometimes I like to tell stories, and sometimes I like to talk shit. But I think that's what makes a good MC. You can't do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Very true.
For myself, I like to change up cadences. I like to change up subject matter. I like to play with different deliveries and beats and change up what I'm talking about and how I'm talking about it. And I think there's there's a skill in every type of every type of song that's out there, whether it's storytelling, whether it's just making something that's playing with words or
exactly.
But I think a real skilled MC can do all of it.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah,
like the way Rick twisted the Sadate and the Pootie Tang part in his verse.
Yeah, see, like that's my favorite thing is I like storytelling, and I just like saying like dumb, wacky shit. I used to try to write serious stuff when I was younger, and I put out a couple serious tracks, but it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun to me, and I felt like a lot of time it wasn't fun to the listener, because there's only so much, out there, and people need a break from that a lot of the time. I feel like, there's enough serious stuff, I'll let the serious artists, write about, love and heartbreak and pain and all that other shit. And I'll just rap some silly shit. That's what I like to do.
Yeah, you remind me a little of like Ad Rock.
Yeah, Ad Rock. There's a dude from Chicago who's kind of like, his name's Sharkula, and he's real off the wall. MC Par Ballman or Paul Par Barman is kind of like that in a way. Sean P too is just he never takes himself seriously. He's just got all the references, you know.
Doom. If you try to read, you can't. If you actually sat down and read what he as try to read it as an exposition, you'd be like, "What the fuck does this?"
Yeah, how?
But it sounds so like I was literally talking about that with my son. He's like, "Well, do you think like what is Doom trying to say?" I'm like, "It does not fucking matter."
It doesn't matter.
It sounds so fucking dope. I said, "You don't. If you listen to Doom trying to like incur some sort of meaning, like don't do that. Listen to it for the pleasure of listening to somebody be clever and put words together that nobody else could ever. Nobody who else could think of that shit."
That's the best too, because you can go back and you can listen to the same Doom song that you've listened to, you know, almost 1,000 times, and you'll put together two thoughts, and you're like, damn, like I didn't even get that reference at the time, and that's what I like about artists like Doom, is that you can go back and you could always find something new. If not in a song, at least in the album, you can find one new thing every time.
I mean, I like rapping about political shit too, or world events, things like that. But I like to mix it up, you know. And on this album, I think I covered a lot of different shit.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and I basically did a comedy track, you know, the adult contemporary rap.
Yeah.
I think we're all of that generation where we see the people who get stuck in the past and refuse to come out of it, from clothes to music to lyrics to mindset. And, you know, that was kind of a shot at them, because that kind of shit drives me nuts. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah, of course. And these people are always the one who talk about how good the 90s used to be, and you know,
or what real rap is, or what real rap is, or what boom bap is, you know.
Yeah, they don't know shit.
Like J-Zone, that's J-Zone's like thesis, man. That's his
right
thesis.
there.
Like that's you know, he's made all his skits are about that kind of shit, or keeping it real, or the open panda, you know.
I'm a real thug and I sell drugs.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But you don't. You're
no.
old for that shit, man. You got grandkids. Nobody.
No, and no disrespect to, you know, any of the greats, but these are the same people, you know. If you tell them to put on some hip hop, they're gonna play the same Snoop Dogg song, the same Dr. Dre, the same Tupac song, and you know, give me a fucking break. Like I turn on whatever Hot 97 or B90 fucking whatever, and it's the same shit over and over again, and you know, it drives me crazy. I can't enjoy any of those songs anymore.
It's
and
hard.
Then they're like, "Yo, it's the real hip hop." They're like, "No, it's not necessarily. No, you gotta play some new shit."
That title, adult contemporary rap, I think it was Q-Tip or somebody was talking about this. This is should there's are like, you know, one of those talking those pieces that they post online. Should there be another category for rap from the 90s and 80s, adult contemporary rap?
I think that hits the nail on the head.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, that's a good title for one of a song, because I'm like got gunshots in there and shit, and I'm like adult contemporary rap, which sounds like easy listening than a mug. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Hell yeah.
And now on adult contemporary rap 97.5, we're gonna take it back. You remember Biggie Smalls? I do.
We're gonna play this one for the 5th time today.
Yeah.
In a row.
California Love. Who's heard that one? I heard that. Oh my god, that song!
Yeah, well, you're out in California. When I was living out in Phoenix.
Oh, trust me. If I ever have to listen to the radio and you flipping through, they play that shit to death.
No, and you get stuck in traffic.
Dre and Tupac, and E40, because I'm in Northern Cali. They play that shit to death out here.
No, it was the same out in Phoenix. You couldn't get away with it or away from it every time.
Yeah, that's not cool. You know, we need to grow as people.
No, I would turn on the AM and listen for the fucking opera stations. I'm dead serious. I
Yeah,
had the windows down, cruising. That shit on blast.
yeah, you know, and you're like, you get forced to listen to the radio. That's one of the worst times in your life. Like,
Yeah, that's
oh, I don't have access to anything except the radio. That's brutal.
Yeah, that's why you go to flip to the AM stations. There was a few times actually I was on like some of the low key ones and had to pull out my phone just to try to get an audio clip so I could take it back home and put in my little sample book.
Nice.
You know, Snoop and Dre announced
Yeah,
that the album's dropping. I think they just released a single too. So
I didn't hear that.
You know when it comes out, if it doesn't sound like his debut, they're gonna lose it.
Yeah, but Snoop's got so much credit. He can do whatever he wants at this point.
Yeah.
I think M's going to be on there too, and I think they said 50 is going to be on there too.
It should be interesting.
We'll see.
I mean, shit, you know Snoop does whatever he wants because he dropped that reggae album.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
and a gospel album.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. But so yeah, like going back to the album, I try to, and also like that "Feelings and Needs" song is kind of it changes the vibe up a little bit too.
I think that's actually one of my favorites of yours off that one.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I look, and that's just looking at how people cope with the world right now is a lot of self-medication and avoidance, avoiding what real life. I've never been. I mean, personally, I'm not saying you got to do what you got to do for your mental health, but I personally try to stay lucid as much as possible.
Yeah.
I don't really, like I don't smoke. I stopped drinking because it's bad. Like the older I get, the worse it is for me. I used to, like to go out and get beers and do all that, but can't really do it anymore. But I know most people I know are doing something to cope.
No, for sure.
I mean, of course, I mean, I get, and we all are really, even if I'm not imbibing on whatever, I'm still on social media. I'm still streaming shit on TV for hours, so.
Right. It's not always something that you take.
Yeah. It's all addictions and ways to cope and kind of get through the day. But the pharmaceutical one, that I don't like that. It's and I had that song "Pharmaceuticals" on Groundworks.
Groundworks, yep.
Our niece is a pharmacist, so when you really start hearing about the shit that happens in a pharmacy, you really see, the biggest drug pushers in this country are not on the street at all. They're not. They are the pharmacy companies.
The pharmacy companies, the doctors, the people at these pain clinics.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then I read this book, Demon Copperhead. It's a fictional book, but it's about Appalachia and the effects of fentanyl being introduced and how they just destroy these rural communities in Appalachia. And it's like people literally plan this shit, and you just become numb to what it is to exist. Your existence is no longer about feelings, your own feelings. It's about satiating yourself and numbing yourself to everything, which it's not easy out here, but I guess we got it. I still want to experience it, the good and the bad. I don't want to be blind to it or so fucked up that I can't even, make it through a day without having to take something.
Yeah, it's not enjoyable.
Yeah,
it's no fun.
Right. I've never been in that situation, but I can't imagine that addiction and it can't be a good way to live.
I lost a lot of friends, a lot of family to that kind of stuff, and it ain't pretty. And
also what I was talking about in that song too, it's not just that, but I was talking about how like people get addicted to activism too. They get addicted to the feeling like they're doing something when they're really, I don't know what they're really doing. Like they're not.
They lost the point of what it is to be an
Right.
activist.
Exactly. They're out there talking about the shit they're doing just to say that they're doing it when it's not like they're not actually moving the needle on anything. It's kind of like
No.
social media bullshit, posting shit on social media, but like, or going out and marching or something just to feel that adrenaline rush. That's what we're looking for, is that adrenaline rush, and it becomes part of the act, not your actual
Yeah.
lifestyle or your what is. It's not coming from a place of being genuine per se, but of
Yeah, exactly.
for
It's more
yourself.
self-indulgent.
Yes, it's self-indulgent, not actually. The more you have to announce something or talk about it, probably the less you're actually that is actually something meaningful to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what? That actually reminds me. I saw a video the other month. Some guy was in Times Square, and he was filming these cops, and one of the cops had a turban on, and the guy was like, "Yo, what the hell? You got cops with turbans?" And then some guy in the background goes, "That ain't a turban, you fucking idiot." And then he goes, "What? That's a turban. Yo, what is that?" And the cop goes, "It's a turban." And the guy was just like, he just puts his head down and walks away. Who are you defending here now?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
So,
like the guy was just, he thought it was cool that, the cops in, New York City get to wear turbans if that's their thing. And the guy just he was so embarrassed. He had to tuck his head between his legs and scuttle off. And, that pretty much right there kind of describes, like a lot of this shit, you can't be a good ally to anybody if you don't know what the hell you're even supporting or talking about.
yeah, that's for sure. Just to be on, just to
be on another level, the high horse.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you need to know what you're actually talking about. And if you don't
This
know what
guy
you're
did not
talking
know.
about, the best thing to do is keep your fucking mouth shut, because that you just end up looking stupid.
Yeah, you got to listen. Too many people talking, not enough people listening. That's the most important thing.
Yep.
Yep.
No doubt.
Now, being that we talking about the effects of what it does to your mental health, let's go on to the track of sleep paralysis.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been a teacher 26. This is my 26th year. I still have nightmares about teaching, and it's almost always the same shit. And
Wow.
just like I said in that track, it's like I'm start out, and I don't know the worst. Like I swear I have PTSD from teaching in Detroit. And most of the years were cool, but it got really bad at the end when the state took over. But the reoccurring dream I have is that I'm back in Detroit teaching. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm back here. Okay, well, and then they keep putting kids in my class. They're like, next, more and more, and they just like keep packing the class full of kids, and it's like off the wall, and they just start going crazy. And like that is that is definitely a reoccurring dream I have, is that like the classroom, the kids are going nuts. I can't control it. And it wakes me up every time. Like that shit, that has to be PTSD. Because I haven't been in Detroit in 10 years. 10 years almost. I think Rick froze. Rick,
do you wake up? I was gonna say, you wake up around the same time in those dreams like that.
I mean, I wake up sometimes. Yeah, like I don't have I definitely wake up when the class starts getting out of control. I'm like, I wake up and my chest hurts.
Wow.
Yeah, man. But that's I mean, obviously for that track, the cut had something about dreams in it, so I just took it from there. I played off the. Yeah, he froze up. He probably can come back.
Okay. All right.
I listened to the sample and something about dreams, so I just said listen to that. And I don't have sleep paralysis because that shit is like you can't even function.
Can't do anything. Yeah.
People feel like they're gonna have a heart attack, but I definitely have woken up in a bad mood from having having one of those sleep related or teaching related dreams. That's for damn sure. And there's nothing else. There's nothing else that I think in my life that does that. I have dreams like that about. Other than when I was in for a long time, I had the college dreams where I didn't finish a paper, and it was, that shit is. I hate that shit.
I still have those dreams, man.
Those are I can't. That's terrible.
I was just a bad student, so
It's
you
the
know,
deadline.
I had tons of those dreams.
It's the deadline.
Deadlines, yeah. Yeah, so you made it back.
Yeah.
Got wrecked for a minute.
Yeah, it's this Brazilian internet, man. Let me tell you, it's been raining the last couple of days, so you know it's been a little spotty. Last couple weeks ago, I didn't have water or internet or power for a whole weekend.
Yeah, we don't get rain here. It's starting to rain. You know, we don't get rain here for about 5-6 months. So
yeah, it's monsoon season just ended a couple months ago, right?
Here?
Yeah.
No. Northern Cali is like a desert. It's 110 degrees for like 6 months, and then it rains, and then it's back to 110 degrees.
Yeah, no, it's just like Phoenix. You know, I think like during July, August, they get the haboops, those those storms out there. It's like a tropical monsoon.
We get it in winter, so like winter and spring, from about December till March, we get rain. That's it. But it gets colder in the winter here. It gets 60s and 50s. But
yeah, you see people putting on the coats.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's the weather report from Northern California.
No, that was my favorite thing about being from the Midwest.
Oh, I know.
I would walk around in like flip-flops and a tank top. Everybody's got mittens on.
Oh, that's South Florida, bro. Because when I was in South Florida, it was all like, you know, the kids are all Caribbean.
Yeah.
And if it got to 60, they come in with a hat on and a puffer and some fucking gloves.
Bubble goose on.
Yes. I'm like, why do you even have that? It's most days it's 90 and humid, 95 and humid, but they come in, I'd laugh at them.
I think part of it is too, like, you know, they want to get a little stylish, you know, and that's like the only time they get to wear a coat. When
man, like in South Florida though, they never wore, like, those kids would wear a hoodie and jeans every day, no matter. It would be blazing every day.
That's like every kid these days, though, man.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what? You can wear whatever you want. You can wear a t-shirt and shorts every day of your life, and you're up here wearing a hoodie over your head. Like, come on.
And you choose to.
You choose to. It's crazy.
Standing on the sun, just baking.
I don't know. Yep.
Weird.
So I guess what we didn't talk. We didn't talk about landmines in the battlefield of respect.
Yeah.
That song was definitely a just kind of playing with words. I was just going off different ideas and words and the type, and I like the vocal sample that he used in there. I used it as the hook, and it was kind of, that one was kind of like non sequiturs, just kind of unrelated things, I guess. But I like that line, "Landmines in the battlefield of respect," so I used it as the title. So I guess we're all in that battlefield of respect, huh?
I mean, it really depends who you are, but you know.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of people don't care if there's, you know. Hey, yo, sometimes you're the shoe, sometimes you're the pile of shit, you know.
Right.
Or a landmine, you know. In this case,
I don't know. That was one of those where I was just playing with words, playing with words and sounds and cadences. Yeah, but I like that. I definitely like that the vocal sample, and he sped up the track, and that's what I use for the hook. So
nice.
I like to mix up tracks with like a hook, and then I like to just let the beat play sometimes. And Sometimes I like to use a sample as the hook. Mix it up. That's another thing on that adult contemporary rap. You got to make sure you have a hook because you can't have every '90s song had to have a hook. It had to be 3 verses too. You can do 2.
Yep.
No.
It had to be 3.
That's the hard thing too. If you're trying to be like a solo rapper and do your own solo thing, you got to make 3 verses yourself, and the whole album, starts to get a little tired.
Nobody does 3 verses anymore, bro.
No.
Nobody. Nobody. Most songs are barely 2 minutes now.
Yep.
Well, it's because even if you could, nobody has that attention span anymore.
No one's gonna listen to that. The only time you get a 3-verse song now is if you have guest verses.
Yeah. And even then, you're kind of stretching it. Anything over 2 minutes is, people starting to fall asleep.
Well, I don't care. I like it when sometimes I just like to let the beat ride on the song because the beat's dope. It's my album. If you don't want to listen to it for 5 minutes, don't.
Yeah, skip it.
Yep. So it's pretty rare I do a 3-verse track with my own verses anymore. I might do like you said. I might stretch out a verse to 24 or 30 bars, just because. But I don't usually. Like I said, almost nobody does 3 verses anymore.
Yep.
Almost nobody.
Don't let it be a posse track.
Right.
Yeah, posse track and posse tracks aren't even like posse tracks are just now. It's just like one. There's no stop. It's like you just.
It's just continuous, right?
Oh, there's no hook. It used to be like everybody got on the hook on a posse track. Now it's just like boom, next, boom, next, boom, next.
I thought about doing a posse track, but with just myself, and then like all these different voices. Yeah.
There you go.
That should be dope.
I don't know if that's been done.
Right down here, yo. Nobody's still there. I'm gonna write that shit tonight.
Yeah, I was gonna say you better do it tonight.
Yeah, there you go. What you can do like cartoon voices and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to do shit growing up. Actually, it was something I used to fuck around with in my time, just because we had time back then. We didn't have shit like we do now to keep you distracted.
Right.
So just do cartoon voices when I was a kid. So something like that would let me get back into one of my passions that I had when I was younger.
Yep, cartoon voices. There you go. You could do like a 10-minute posse track.
Be like, yo, man, I just won't even tell anybody either. That would be the best part too.
That would be the best, yeah. Uh-huh.
Be like, yo, man, you suck, but I really like the third guy. You're fucking whack, dude, but those other guys are dope as shit.
The 20th guy, that guy.
Oh man, he was killing it. But you, dog, I fucking hate you, man.
The 28th dude, he sucked.
Oh,
you're right. They just go like this one. This guy was cool. I don't like that guy.
You're like, this is my whole crew. My whole crew. I got 35 motherfuckers on this track. That's my whole crew.
It's my whole crew. This is my whole crew. How many MCs? 32.
Oh man.
And it'll be a 32-minute song too.
1 minute each.
1 minute each.
And you can put it out on side A and side B.
That's a good concept, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That would be crazy.
You just can't use you just gotta have like the beats blend in like real nice, a couple good change ups, and it'll
That's it.
There you go. You could make a whole series.
Oh man, yeah. You just can't tell nobody. That would be like the biggest, greatest magic trick, of hip hop history.
I know some, but people have done like where they did different voices on tracks.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mad Lib.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, Quasimodo, he does.
Yeah, Quasi. Yeah, that's
What
what I was
was
saying.
that show called with Fonte did with that was on
Percy Miracles.
was that
Percy Miracles.
no, he did a show with oh damn. What'd you say it was?
Percy Miracles. His alter ego.
No, it was like based it was like a skit comedy show. And they do like different music, like music parodies too. And Fonte, they did like a parody of a 90s hip hop group, and Fonte rapped like as like five different.
Yeah, I remember that.
That shit was dope, and he killed like every one of them. But he did like ODB, a guy like ODB, and then you know just like 90s stuff. But
Yep.
yeah, he killed that.
I gotta look that up after this.
Fonte's
You know,
Go ahead.
you know who is not a rapper, but he's Aries Spears does really good impersonations of rappers.
Yeah, but he's kind of he's not my favorite. He's not the best dude though.
No. Oh man, maybe I shouldn't look up some of these allegations.
Yeah,
or facts.
He's kind of whack in his a lot of his views, but yeah, I mean he's good at impersonations. He's kind of like an adult contemporary rap kind of dude.
Yeah, that's a shame. Yeah, that's what sucks now too about
No, I've never even heard of that, man. That's crazy. Is that Fonte?
Yeah.
What? I haven't heard that. The ladies champ. I have not heard that. Wow. I know he can sing though. He can sing his ass off.
Yep.
Like that stuff with Zoe and stuff. Yeah. Wow. I'll have to check that one out too. Yeah, the only other track on the album I don't think we talked about was Wake Up Call. And I think I kind of took some Pink Floyd inspiration from that one. That was more like a rock based track.
Mm-hmm.
I was yelling on the hook. You know what I'm saying? So that was the last track on the album. Definitely on that rock psych tip too. Yep. So I don't know. You got anything else to say, Rick?
Peace, love, and applesauce, man. That's all I got.
You're gonna stay tuned. We're gonna work on something. I'm gonna get. I got a month off. I'm gonna look for some beats.
Oh, nice.
If you got some beats, I need to.
All right. This is
plan some shit.
Got a nice little MIDI controller over here that I'm gonna set up, and I've produced a few instrumentals in my time. You know, I think you get a pretty good ear for samples and stuff like that. So I think I'm going to get back on that tip myself and start because like you said, it's kind of hard working with producers sometimes, and not everyone has quite what you need. And if I can get back into that, I can kind of tailor a lot of my stuff to what I need. Because I've had to take other people's stuff and like change the loops to make it a little longer. Or maybe like the end of the verse isn't where it's supposed to be, and it's too short.
You got to do that. I do that all the time. I mean, I'm basically the co-producer. I mean, when I'm in the studio, I'm asking, I'll move this here, extend this,
chop it up, yeah.
And then when Pimp gets a hold of it, he's doing his own thing too. We added a lot of sounds, and I mean, you heard the difference. You heard the difference.
Yeah.
Between, the when we first started and what he had to do. Yeah, so that's the beauty of the process, though. It's hard.
That's what makes it a lot more fun and less stressful trying to work with other people than trying to get it all done yourself. Because when you're that guy trying to fix the beat or to make the whole beat yourself, then you're writing it, and then you're trying to tweak the audio levels and master it yourself. It's just it could be very disheartening, and you can give up pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, you might never get done. What I always say, Q-Tip, they had to wrestle at the Midnight Marauders from him. They had to like literally take the final
Yeah,
master copy because he wouldn't give it up.
yeah, he was about to rick it up.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm saying, so if you can't, you have to step away from your own art sometimes.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, and then there are some people that produce and write and do all their own stuff and put something out every 2 weeks.
That's a different animal, though, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's a different kind of animal. But like I was saying to you before, it's like what Andy Warhol said. Just make art and put it out, and while other people are judging it, just make more.
Keep going.
But just don't get stuck on the one piece, or because nothing's going to get finished, and then by the time you're gonna change it so much it doesn't resemble the first idea that you had in the first place.
Yeah, that's what I pretty much do. Just keep going.
You got the creative juices. You got to keep going.
I make that all those millions.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But don't forget for the audience, cop the CD or cop the tape.
Put those links back up real quick.
Bandcamp. If you like streaming, it's on all the streaming outlets. But it's always nice to buy physicals because a physical copy brings in the artist about as much as a couple 100,000 streams.
Yep, and nobody can take that from you once
That's
you got
right.
it. If nuclear holocaust hits, you won't be able to check out SoundCloud and YouTube, but you'll have the cassette, have a couple batteries in your tape player, and that's all you need, baby.
And just like in Threads, if the aftermath happens, you can still listen to loose threads after the Holocaust.
The nuclear holocaust.
Yes, you'll be fine. You'll be all set.
Yep. I got a few questions. One, did Beatnick create all of these for the album, or was there some tracks that you already had heard?
No, he has a folder of like 7 million beats, and I just went through and picked out the 10. I picked out like 12.
Yeah.
That I really liked, and and I shared. I told him the ones I picked. Like I told you, and he was like, "These are wild. Like no one even messes with these." So, and then I started. I was talking to Rick about it. I said, "Well, check him out," and he kind of said the same thing. Like I said, Beatnick hasn't created a new beat in a long time.
He probably doesn't have to because he already made all the beats.
He's saying that.
But he has folders and folders and like folders of beats. Yeah, man. So that's what I did. I just went through meticulously and picked out the beats that I liked.
Nice. Rick, when you're talking about the graffiti scene and you say you were trying to get into it, I had a question for you. That's why I asked earlier how long you've been down there. Is there still any artwork from when the Olympics were down there?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm in Sao Paulo, and the Olympics were in Rio.
Yeah.
But I went out there. It was like my second year out here, and there was still a bunch of artwork out there. Usually, every time the World Cup is going on, they paint the streets with the flags and everything. Mm-hmm. So there was still a lot of that stuff out here. It gets painted over sometimes too, just because that's how the graffiti game is. Everything's up for grabs. So, a lot of that stuff is in pretty prime real estate. It's sought after. So a lot of it doesn't stay untouched for long. But a lot of the artists out here have respect for each other. They don't go over stuff unless it's past its prime or it starts to fade. But you'll see stuff run for 10 years. I'll go on Google Maps sometimes. I'm like, damn, how long has this one been here? I'll go back to like 2008 and it's still fresh.
Wow.
Okay, that's dope.
Now we just need a break dancer on here.
Oh, there we go.
B-boy. Where they at?
Yeah, no, I used to race BMX when I was younger, and my knees are done. Good. I'm good enough just getting up every morning and being able to walk to the store. I'm not trying to, break another knee or an ankle or something like that. I'll watch it from the side.
There you go.
You were racing on the banks and the ovals.
Yeah.
Nice.
The berms. No, I was in the ABA, the American Bicycle Association, and I spent probably a good 10 years of my
Learning
life doing
something new
that.
right now.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, there you go. I'm a man of many pleasures.
That's rad.
It was a good movie.
Right. Oh, and there was a Garbage Pail Kid movie too.
That's right.
That I Slipper put that up one day on Facebook. I was like, man, I don't even remember that. That shit must have been horrible.
Probably.
Oh, like what? That's.
It's just the nostalgia, man. It's the nostalgic value of it,
Yeah,
That's
but he does the original art though, which is cool though. He's kind of found his niche. So I wish he could have been on too. I don't know what happened. I'm not sure where he is today, but
and we'll just have to do another album and have him make the cover so we can get him on for the next one.
There you go.
Yep.
I'm sure he'll be down.
No, but I didn't know we was doing the that was like original Cabbage Patch. I thought it was just like a parody. I didn't know it was getting down with like the OG thing.
Yeah,
that's what's on.
Yeah, man, Tops. If official. I used to buy all the baseball cards.
Yeah, don't put these cards in your spokes, kids.
No,
that wouldn't be rad.
Well, I wonder who does that. Cards and spokes.
I don't even think kids get out anymore any days. So
yeah, mine does. My 16-year-old, he still goes out and skates. He goes to the skate park. And
nice.
He's with his Jinkos on.
Oh yeah, I've seen those pictures, man. That's so cool. Yeah, but that's a rare breed, man. You don't see that much anymore.
No,
it kind of warms my heart seeing that kind of stuff. Just being someone who used to get out and do that kind of stuff myself.
Yeah. Just be outside, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, well, they got a good influence, man.
That's a good that's a good track. That's something to think about for some tracks too.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Could have put some of that on the album. There's definitely some material there.
No doubt.
I'm already getting ideas.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, plenty more.
Rowdy turning. That's dope.
The album is Loose Threads, and I'm gonna go check out that movie because when you mentioned Threads, I slightly have a memory of it, but I don't think I've ever seen it. So I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Mad depressing.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people are pretty traumatized by that movie. So tread lightly.
You remember?
Tread lightly.
Yeah, Wiki likes that stuff though, man. He likes the he kind of likes the same type of movies I like. He likes the demented stuff.
Yeah, some of the good stuff,
I just rewatched Terrifier 2 last night.
Oh, that's a good one.
But yeah, I like weird demented stuff too. But yeah, I mean, I think I think you're the same age as us, Rick, right? You're in your 40s, right?
No, man, come on. I don't look that bad. No, I'm 35. I'm 35.
35?
Yeah, I'm young. I'm still young.
Dang, I didn't know.
No,
yeah,
it's the beard.
So you're okay. So you and Slipper are the same age then. Okay, I feel like I've been talking to you so long. We had to be the same age.
Yeah, no, I was just a little baby boy. No, I wasn't that young, but yeah, no, it's the Just for Men that I use. Keeps me looking younger.
So you don't even have the recollect. You didn't grow up in that. Like Wiki and I grew up in. Like I'm sure he remembers growing up with the nuclear bomb threats and.
Oh yeah, no, that's.
It was deep, like on the news every night, like the nuclear arms race, the Cold War. That junk gave me nightmares.
Yeah, they had you guys sweating.
Huh?
They had you guys sweating.
I tell my parents like, oh, are we gonna die? Are they gonna drop the bomb on us?
Like maybe we just might die.
Oh yeah,
hide under the desk.
I was like, maybe you might not even be here in the morning. No, just kidding.
You're like, fuck it, I ain't eating my Brussels sprouts. Give me the candy.
I was worried about that for real. That scared me. I had bad dreams about it. And
Yeah, all jokes aside, that's sad, man.
Yeah,
I would have seen this movie when I was in the 80s.
you wouldn't be the same person right now.
Do you remember The Day After?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, that
I've
wasn't
seen
even
it.
that bad. Like that was bad, but it was kind of sanitized for network TV.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Threads was on the BBC, it was not sugar coated at all. Like The Day After was more, prime time. It was supposed to scare people, but Threads was just there's no holds barred. It was deep. But I'm glad I did not see that when I was a kid. I probably would still be suffering to this day. But yeah, go check it out though.
You laughed.
Oh man.
You might not want to watch it with your kids though. You might not.
You'll probably have a lot of questions for me.
Yeah.
But I think it's on Prime. It's on Shudder.
Yeah, it's on Shudder.
Really?
It's on Prime. It's on iTunes or whatever the Apple shit is.
Yeah, it is pretty obscure. I don't think most and I don't think most people here really know about it. But
No, I think you watch it for free on the Internet Archives. Actually,
sometimes
yeah.
YouTube, it's on there. Sometimes I don't think it's on YouTube though. But
you know what is on YouTube? Loose Threads. Go check it out.
It is YouTube. Loose Threads is on YouTube. You can check it out there. You can share it with your friends, and you can purchase it.
Yep.
It's a little bit less traumatizing than the movie.
A little bit.
A little.
So there's some uplifting moments, and very good.
So if you want the cassette,
and Rick Reck is on Loose Threads, and he's not in Threads. He was not alive at the time.
Wasn't born yet. Came out in what?
like
70, 84, 79, 84.
I was about 9.
All right. I was 4 years away from being born. 5 years away from being born. I'm an 80s baby by 1 year, so I still get to claim it.
Damn. You're born in 89. Wow.
89, yeah.
What
were you doing in 89?
What was I doing in 89? I was in 8th grade.
Picking your nose?
Yeah. Playing with garbage pail kids.
yeah,
Listening to Bon Jovi.
Oh man. That's where you get your inspiration from?
Yeah, it's my inspiration for everything I've done. Bon Jovi.
I could really hear it in the music, let me tell you.
Yeah, man. All Bon Jovi all the time.
Oh,
Samantha Fox. She was my inspiration. You remember her?
Yeah.
My 2 inspirations. Samantha Fox. That's what has led me down this path.
Yeah, see?
It's the same old story, really.
Yeah. Oldest time.
Anyway.
I love how Rick keeps a straight face. It's killing me.
Play a lot of poker.
There you go. Good job, good job.
We call it Peefy down here.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little different, but it's almost the same thing.
So what? So Wiki, one of these times we're gonna get everybody who's supposed to be on here. I'm gonna make. I know when we get this next project done with Greg and Mom Placebo, he'll come on because that guy has his own. He has his own channel. He's on YouTube all the time. So
all right,
I'm gonna get him to come on. So
cool.
Stay tuned for that one. I don't know what it's called yet, but it's about the next album is all the titles are historical figures, so they're not necessarily biographical. But they're based on things that happened. Like I got like a track about based on Walter Reuther's life. I got one about called Bell Hooks. Got one Sylvia Robinson. Got he did one on King Leopold. So we're working through them, but yeah. So we're splitting each track. So we're gonna do half the track. So I already recorded like my 5 verses. He's working on his, and then I'm gonna record based on what he put and record my verse. So it'll be like a 50-50. So we'll discuss that too.
All right. Sounds good. Loose Threads is out right now. Cassette through Good Darts, CD through DITCD, and if you want the digital, go directly to Calcei's Bandcamp.
Word.
Peep that shit, grab it, cop it up. You already know 2 of the best MCs out right now.
The best.
The best, the very best.
And that's no disputing it. In fact,
No, that's some adult contemporary rap shit right there. You know,
right?
I'm the best. You know,
this is the realist. I keeps it real, son.
100%.
All right, man. Wicky's
All
out.
right. Definitely appreciate
Well,
it.
I hope you're doing well in your family.
Yes, we are. Definitely. Thank you. Appreciate that.
And,
Before we go, as always, Rick, Calcei, let everyone know where they can reach out to you and support.
You can hit me up on Facebook at Rick Reckless 219. Just shoot me a message, add me up, and if you're dope enough, we can collab.
hey, I'm on IG, but I don't use that much, and I'm on Facebook under my regular name, Ben Fox. If you want to hit me up, which sometimes people find me on there and ask me if I'm Calcei. Happens once in a while, and give me some beats. I don't, and I don't do Twitter. So yeah, those are the 2 places: IG or Facebook. Oh, wait, no, it's X now. My bad.
Oh, come on, you got to be politically correct, man. You know this day and age.
I know. So yeah, hit me up if you wanna. If you got some collaboration suggestions. Maybe you can produce the Rick Rec Calcei collaboration.
You never know. Stranger things have happened.
That's right. Mad Lib, if you're listening.
Oh, he's listening for sure.
I'm
sending him the link right after this.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's your next project.
I'm ready.
You never know.
All right.
Yeah, it is. All right. Appreciate y'all.
Yep. It's good seeing you, Rick.
Thank you. On behalf of HHDG Media, we're going to say peace.